Okay, welcome back everybody to quarterfinal day for Roland Garros day 1. And it's the second match of the ladies. We've already got Sabalenka in the semis. We're going to find out who she's going to play between Svitolina and Swiatek. These two have played 4 times, 3-1 Swiatek. The Wimbledon match, the only win for Svitolina. And, but I don't think we should be doubting Svitolina. I think she's more than capable of winning this match. She's been great on clay this year. Swiatek hasn't been as good as she has been on clay. I don't think we can say she's been bad on clay, Swiatek. She's just not been as good as she has been on clay. Not winning a title on clay. She hasn't won a title in 12 months. Last time she won the title was Roland Garros last year. So trying to break that drought. But if you look at her record, Swiatek, and you take her name away from it, it's actually not a bad clay court season. It's just that she's not used to losing to players like Gauff, Collins on clay, right? So let's see if Swiatek can overcome this match and take on the world number 1 in the semis. But how are we doing, chap? Are we ready? I feel like this could be a banger. I mean, we saw Svitolina take out Paolini in a 3-set epic with match point saving and all that fun stuff. I mean, this kind of feels like we could get something like that. It could be something similar. Even with Swiatek not at her best, I can't see Svitolina winning. Okay. Well, we will find out together. Because they are going to come out on court. And then after this, we've got Tiafoe Musetti, which is a very strange match to be calling on a clay court in the quarterfinals of a major. But we're going to be watching that. And then, of course, we've got tonight's match between Alcaraz and Captain America. 1 and 3 for Swiatek, you reckon? Man, you really think it's going to be a beatdown? Okay. Swiatek will bounce back to her typical form after being tested by Raducanu. Yeah. That's a great matchup. It was really fun. Maybe it's exactly what Swiatek needed too, you know, to get ready for this, for the rest of the tournament, you know, just get over that bit of a hump and then get to here, you know. What are the comeback stats for these players? I want to copy and paste again. What do you mean? I feel like Swiatek will win this in 2. Okay. We'll find out very shortly what is going to happen. I hope Svitolina can win this in 3. All right. And then tomorrow, chap, first 2 matches of the day. We start with Gauff versus Keys, followed by the other match, Andreeva versus Boison. And then after that, we've got Sinner versus Bublik, and then the night match is going to be Djokovic versus Zverev. No surprise there. So that's on tomorrow. That's the order of play tomorrow. I wish we could have gotten Zhang versus Swiatek on the clay this season. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, you're right. We have to wait for another year until we get the rematch of the Olympic final on clay, or the Olympic, semis on clay. Yeah, that's a shame. I didn't think of that. Because unless they play after the Wimbledon, but they usually don't play after Wimbledon on clay, do they? Poisson for the win, you reckon? Okay. Well, we'll find out that tomorrow. I'm going to be really interested to see how Andreeva deals with the crowd, because that crowd is going to be so crazy that Andreeva is going to have to deal with, probably never had to deal with something like that in her career, you know? Has Eala got any grass experience? Probably not, but that's what we're going to watch her. That is why we're going to watch her against Fruhvirtova. She's coming up in a few hours, so we'll watch her and, probably watch her during the Musetti-Tiafoe match, which, again, like I said, perfect timing because watching... We don't typically like to watch the grass before the clay ends, but I made an exception. So we're going to watch Eala, and then during that Tiafoe Musetti match, which we all think is probably going to be Musetti in 4, maybe straight. Like, I feel like it's the least. Like, if it was Djokovic Zverev and then Eala was playing at the same time, it's like, we got to watch Zverev and Djokovic. We can't. We're not watching grass. But I feel like it's out of all the matches, it's probably the best one to also include seeing what Eala looks like on grass. It feels, it feels like the best one to, we can do a double header there. It won't be too much of a problem. I think that Pegula match proved was on is for real. Yeah. Well, that was a hell of a win. A hell of a win. I thought the match started at 6. Which match? This match? No, this match starts at now. Eala will win later at Birmingham. Well, we'll find that out too. All right, players are just warming up. Tiafoe's going to win. That would be amazing. Congrats on 124k subs. Thank you. That was a couple of years ago, but I appreciate it. 124. The last French player to make the semis at Roland Garros was Bartoli in 2011. Oh, okay. Swiatek's going to win. Okay. Yeah, I was playing a 125 event. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't realize until yesterday somebody pointed out, which was interesting. Also, Mensik lost in that same event, I think, or he lost in a challenger this week, which I didn't think he'd be playing that. So that was interesting. So I don't know how that does for his confidence after losing at the French Open and then losing first round as the number 1 seed in a challenger. I mean, that sucks. That's why you don't go to play challengers. Because if you don't go to the challenger to win, then it could make it worse for you, you know? Be interesting to see Eala's game on grass. Yeah, it would be. Sinner at Wimbledon will be scary. I agree. I concur. All right. Players are just warming up their final few shots, and then we will get this started. All right. Serve, serve, serve. When Vizet looking on. Very important tournament for him as well because, of course, he was brought on to help Swiatek win more and she hasn't won anything since they've worked together. So He obviously is in the hot seat a little bit this tournament, especially because this is the tournament she doesn't lose. You don't want to be the guy that 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 is at the is the reason or is in the hot seat when they lose the streak. Okay. They're just warming up their last few shots. By the way, a lot of players that lost early this week are playing this week in Birmingham, which is interesting. Players like Bellucci and McDonald, all playing this week on the grass, getting a head start on the competition. Okay. Here we go. I have no idea who's going to serve, but we're going to find out together when they start playing. Who you got, chat? Monfils in the house. Lamonf, he's there. Swiatek's going to serve. I've got Swiatek in 3. Who you got? Let me know in the chat. Who have you got? And what is the score going to be? Swiatek to start us off. As Swiatek serves, winner plays Sabalenka in the semis on Thursday. As the return goes into the final, Swiatek, final from Svitolina, down the line in the net, 15 love. Swiatek. As with a fault from Swiatek. Second serve. We want a Sabalenka-Swiatek final. Swiatek very unlikable. Is she, though? As it a fine now into the net from Swiatek, it's 15-all. Why is she unlikable? What makes her unlikable? That doesn't make... I mean, because she's quiet? 15-all? She's a nerd and shy. So she's unlikable because she's a nerd and she's shy? That seems silly. Anyways, 4-1 winner from Svitolina, 15-30. $15.30. Break chance, nearly a break chance already. For Svitolina, Swiatek serves. Into the back of Svitolina, return goes wide, and it's 30-all. She seems really nice. Yeah, I think she's just quiet. Which may come up. Look, people that are quiet, I can speak for myself here. People that are quiet and keep to themselves, we accidentally give off the vibe that we're not nice. I could attest to that. If I'm just doing my thing and just like keeping quiet, not saying stuff, and just like sitting back, we come off as looking like we're angry, when in fact we're just chilling. You know, we're just chilling. There's like, we just don't want to speak. We just have nothing to say, so we're not going to talk for the sake of it. And it can be misinterpreted as mean or as grumpy or something, but it's just, we're just chilling. We just got nothing to say. It's funny. You might think that I'm not like that, but I am like that. I talk a lot here, but this is the internet. 30-40. There's a backhand return from Svitolina to the backhand of Swiatek. Backhand of Svitolina down the line. Goes long with it. Juice. Same Cam, that's me. Yeah. Yeah, we just like tequila. We're just chilling. We're just keeping to ourselves. We're just like, we just keep to ourselves. We just chill. We don't need to say things. We just sit back and, it's cool. When we say things, it means we have a problem. If we're not happy, we'll say something. But if we don't say something, we're just chilling. We don't need to talk the whole time. Just an introvert thing. Deuce. Swiatek says a fault. Second serve. But it can be misinterpreted as we don't like anybody or we don't want to talk to anybody. That's not true. We're just chilling. We're very friendly. As we return now into the slice of Swiatek. Backhand now from Svitolina. The backhand of Swiatek is Svitolina backhand slice. Swiatek on the attack. Hits a forehand winner. And it's advantage Swiatek. First game of the match. Don't make us angry. That's funny. All right. Advantage Swiatek. I'm an extroverted introvert. Yeah. All right. First serve's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. The backhand of Svitolina. Swiatek forehand to the front of Svitolina. And the backhand of Swiatek is Svitolina backhand again to the backhand of Swiatek to the backhand of Svitolina. Swiatek backhand into the front of Svitolina, but he puts it into the corner for a winner. As deuce. I'm an extroverted extrovert. So I feel like every introvert has a best friend who's an extrovert. I feel like that makes a good friendship. Every introvert has an extrovert, and vice versa. Every extrovert has an introverted friend, a best friend, just to kind of like keep them in check. All right, deuce. Over 7 to the backhand of Svitolina. Return goes out. Advantage Swiatek. That's the truth, yeah. I have other introverted friends too, but yeah. No, like I've got a lot of my friends are like all of them are we all have different personalities, but like my best friend is definitely extroverted. As we serve now the backhand of Svitolina. Swiatek with a forehand lob. Goes into the forehand of Svitolina. Backhand of Swiatek again. The backhand of Svitolina. And Swiatek forehand cross. Svitolina again to the forehand of Swiatek. As Svitolina down the line. Swiatek with the backhand. That's a good shot. Svitolina gets it though and hits it long. 1-love to Swiatek. I'm an extrovert and I'm married an introvert. There you go. You run the show cam, you have to talk. Yeah. I use all my words on stream and then I just don't speak outside of stream. I'm mute. All right. 1-love. My wife's definitely introverted, but I love it. It's so calming. Yeah, I think, it's a good balance, right? Okay. Cam's personality is complete. He's giving us lessons on good manners. What do you mean? What do you mean? All right. Here we go. Svitolina to serve. I have a feeling that Swiatek is going to finish this match quickly. Okay. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand, Swiatek. Good return. Svitolina gets it back. Swiatek forehand. Into the forehand of Svitolina. Swiatek forehand to the backhand of Svitolina. Into the back of Swiatek. Swiatek gets it out. And it's 15 love. Blaze, you got to relax, buddy. 15 love. Take two. As we just served on the tee, the forehand of Swiatek. Return goes in. The forehand of Svitolina. Swiatek forehand. To the forehand of Svitolina. Swiatek again to the forehand of Svitolina. But she hits it in the net. That's 15-all. By the way, chat, we're almost at 4. No, we're not. Chat, we're almost at 242k. Wait, we have to... No, hang on. We're almost at 242,200k. 2422. Wait. Just subscribe. Please. Just subscribe. 30-15. Yeah, 2, whatever that number is. 2, 2, and 4 and a 2. 40-15. Good serving, Svitolina. 40-15. As we had a good serve down the tee from Svitolina, it's 1-1. I've been praying to the tennis gods for a Sabalenka slam win, a slam final. She just made a final in Australia. You've had 2 finals in the last 2 slams. What do you mean? Why are you upset? You should be happy. She's on a roll. We're almost at 124,000 according to one person. We're definitely part of, yeah. All right, 1-0. As the return goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand out from Svitolina. Into the backhand of Swiatek. Svitolina backhand into the forehand of Swiatek. Again, the backhand of Svitolina. Svitolina hits it out, though. 15 love. Did Cam update his title to professional tennis fan yet? No. But that's definitely what I am. 15 love. As the return goes in the net from Svitolina. I got to get my PhD in tennis. Somehow. 30 love. I remember being in the channel before 100k. Great job. Yeah, that was 3 years ago. That's crazy. Because that is crazy to get to that. And now we're it's crazy. Yeah, a lot of people got here around the 50k mark when we watched Djokovic get kicked out of the country. As Swiatek gets to 40 love. $40 love. $40 love. All right. 40-15. All right, 40-15. Swiatek serves. A fault. Second serve. Return goes in the back into Swiatek. Swiatek gets it in. And it's a winner. She takes the lead again. 2-1. This match is the end of the run for Swiatek. Okay. Two-one Swiatek. All right. 14 minutes played, 2-1. As we get a fault from Svitolina, second serve. As that goes out by Swiatek, and it's 15-love. As Swiatek hits it out again, 30-love. Are we getting a Sabalenka Swiatek final? Semi-final? Maybe. I think we will. I think we might. First serve is a fault, second serve. As Swiatek gets a lovely inside-out backhand winner. And it's 30-15 as we have 4 now. Swiatek on the stretch. Svitolina sliced down the line. Swiatek backhand passing shot winner. 30-all. 30-all. As the return goes in the net. And it's 34. Oh, sorry. What happened? Svitolina hit it in the net. 30-40. 30-40. As the return goes in the forehand of Svitolina. That goes out, though, from Svitolina. There's the break. All right. break for the 3-time defending champ and the 4-time champ. The champ. Quadruple champ. All right, 3-1. Is it a fault from Swiatek? Second serve. As a backhand return goes the forehand to Swiatek. Forehand now from Svitolina. Swiatek backhand. Into the backhand of Svitolina. Swiatek with a forehand cross. Swiatek now with a backhand cross into the backhand of Svitolina. Swiatek backhand again. The slice of Svitolina, but Svitolina in the net. 15 love. Love. Sort of fault second serve. Second serve. The backhand of Svitolina. Swiatek backhand to the backhand of Svitolina. Again to the back of Swiatek. And Svitolina forehand cross. Goes long. 30 love. Watching from the Philippines. What's up? All right, forehand to forehand rally. As Swiatek gets it out. 30-15. Serve again. As the return goes to forehand Swiatek. Backhand from Svitolina. In the back of Swiatek. Svitolina forehand to the back of Swiatek. Svitolina again to the backhand of Swiatek. Svitolina backhand goes down the line. Swiatek's got it on the stretch. As it a forehand rally. And Swiatek gets it out. And it's 30 all. As we get a fault. Second serve. As the return goes in the backhand of Swiatek. Forehand from Svitolina. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Svitolina again with the forehand. Goes long. And it's 40-30. 40-30. Ah, 40-30. As we serve it while the backhand is Svitolina. Backhand is Swiatek to the backhand is Svitolina. As we backhand again, the backhand is Svitolina to the forehand is Swiatek. As Svitolina forehand to the backhand is Swiatek. And goes out by Swiatek. We get the deuce. Why do you love Eala so much? You know what? I'm going to ask you the question. Why do you dislike her so much? That's what I want to know. Why do the people that question, like, why are people so opposed to watching her matches? It seems so strange that you would be so upset that we watch somebody, or that you would be like, why? I don't understand. Why? Anyways, deuce. Why does it matter why we watch players? We watch tennis. It's tennis. There are better players. Cool. Then you can watch them. All right, deuce. Swiatek serves. As a return goes in the back of Swiatek. Forehand now from Svitolina. As Swiatek forehand goes long. Advantage Svitolina to take the break. How did you become a Rockies fan? I spun a wheel of all the teams, and that came up. Also today, chat, if anyone complains about watching Eala, you're going to be timed out for the whole day. So make sure you bite your tongue today. Otherwise, you will be timed out for a day. That is the rule. Because it's just getting annoying. All right, advantage Svitolina to break back. Rockies won. Yeah, we beat the Marlins. Let's see if we can win 2 in a row. Let's go. Advantage Svitolina. You should have spun it twice. Nah, it's more fun this way. As with a volley from Svitolina, Swiatek with a pass, goes in. That's a great shot. Back to deuce. Now, see, I like the fact that, because I couldn't find, like, I don't know where I got this from. I don't know, I think it came from America. But, like, I like the fact that, but maybe not the fact that I go for a team that's the worst team in the competition right now. But I like the fact that I'm going for, like, I go to the store and it's like Yankees and Dodgers and, all the big teams, right? It's all, all the teams everybody knows in the world, right? I'm like, nah. I like the fact that I'm going for a team that, like, nobody even knows or heard of because they're not very good. All right, forehand in there for Swiatek, and it's Svitolina with the advantage. Maybe not like the worst team. Maybe it would have been nicer to get like a middle team. Maybe like a middle of the road team, not like the bottom of the table. But hey, we got to start somewhere. We're only going to get better. We can only get better. We can only get better. All right, advantage Svitolina. As a default second serve. Blaze, I don't know what you're on, but you need to stop. Advantage Svitolina. And I asked you nicely before, but now, I don't know what the hell you're going on about. You need to relax. As that goes out by Svitolina, back to deuce. Anthony, don't worry. It's okay. You're okay. You're fine. Don't worry, Anthony. You're okay. All right, back to deuce. Swiatek trying to keep this break as we had a forehand inside out to the backhand is Swiatek. Forehand from Svitolina. Into the forehand Swiatek is Svitolina. Into the net. Advantage Swiatek. All right, advantage Swiatek. Advantage Swiatek. As she serves. Nearly 30 minutes already played. This is a long Swiatek first set. 7 to the corner, Svitolina. Swiatek hits it long, and it's back to deuce. We get back to deuce. This has been a marathon game. Was it a fault? Second serve. Second serve. Seventh for Svitolina. 4 Swiatek into the backhand of Svitolina. To the backhand of Swiatek. Svitolina backhand down the line goes wide. And it's advantage Swiatek to get the 4-1 lead and keep the break. Also, Monfils in the house. Mr. Monfils is in the house. All right, see you later, Valita. Advantage Swiatek. Very windy out there today. All right. Backhand down the line, the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand now from Svitolina to the forehand of Swiatek. And Svitolina again to the forehand of Swiatek. Svitolina go to the backhand of Swiatek into the forehand of Svitolina. And Swiatek forehand down the line. Svitolina backhand cross. Swiatek gets it. Into the backhand of Svitolina. Backhand of Swiatek into the forehand of Svitolina. Into the slice of Swiatek. Svitolina short ball, drop shot, winner. Back to deuce. Chad, I have to draw what just happened because it was very, very impressive what Svitolina just did, right? All right, so Svitolina, she's standing about here, and she hits the ball for a drop shot. Swiatek's way back here, right? The ball goes in, and then the drop shot she hits, right? The angle goes like this. There's no way Swiatek is getting to that, right? There's no way. If you hit a drop shot with that angle, the ball's going to be here. There's no way Swiatek can get all the way to here. So that was a beautiful drop shot. She could have easily hit the drop shot here and it could have gone there and then boom. But the angle and the placement, that's a drop shot. Great drop shot. Smart drop shot. Didn't have to be a good drop shot. The placement was never going to let Swiatek get back in that rally. Advantage Swiatek. The angle and the placement was good enough. It didn't have to be it didn't have to bounce this high off the ground to be good. Advantage Swiatek to get 4-1. Now, I don't even think Alcaraz would have got to that drop shot. As the return goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand now from Svitolina. In the net, 4-1. That was a marathon. Marathon game by for Swiatek, but she keeps the break. And she leads. All right. All right. How many hours or more or less do you spend commenting on during slams? More or less? I mean, for the first week, it's always more because there's more matches. So, yeah. So, I'd say, we've done a couple of 11, 12-hour days. 13 hours was the longest day the other day. Yesterday wasn't as much. So, I don't know. How many? Probably about 90 hours, 80 hours, 90 hours, 100 hours maybe. Yeah, probably about 100 hours throughout a slam. I would guess, roughly. All right, 4-1. I mean, it could be more than 100. I don't know. And it's backhand from Swiatek down the line to the forehand of Svitolina. Swiatek backhand cross-court winner. And it's love 15. Love 15. Love 15. There's a return. Goes in the backhand of Svitolina. And Svitolina hits out. Love 30. Love 30. As the backhand Swiatek down the line goes long. 15-30. 15-30. Which GS do you usually end up doing the most hours? Probably Australia. I think the Australian Open probably the most hours. Just because it's on during the day and it's, 15-30s. That goes out in the return from Swiatek for 30-0. Svitolina hits it wide. 30-40. Chance for Swiatek to get the double break. Can Nole win tomorrow? Yes. Yes, he can. $30-40. Good serve, Svitolina. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. Serving to the backhand of Swiatek. Return a shot. Svitolina comes to the net. Swiatek with a backhand passing shot winner. Advantage Swiatek for the double break. Advantage Swiatek. Does Svitolina have a chance? Yeah, she does. Now an advantage Swiatek to get to 5-1. With the double break. As a forehand rally, sliced from Swiatek into the forehand of Svitolina. Swiatek forehand again to the forehand of Svitolina. Again to the forehand of Swiatek slice. Svitolina comes in with a drive volley. Backhand pass. Swiatek is in the net. We get to deuce. We get to deuce. What's up, Christine? All right, we get to deuce. As a return goes the forehand of Svitolina. Forehand of Swiatek, the forehand of Svitolina. As Swiatek forehand to the line to win up. Advantage Swiatek. That was clean. That was a clean forehand. Advantage Swiatek. Advantage Swiatek. As with a fault. From Svitolina, second serve. As the return goes out. And it's deuce. We get the deuce. Swiatek really fooled us into thinking she'd lost her touch. All those doubters. All those Swiatek haters. Where are you at now? Huh? All you deniers. All you Swiatek deniers. She's never going to win anything ever again. She stinks. Yep. All right. She just hit a backhand winner in your face. Advantage Swiatek to go to 5-1. We never lost faith, chat. We never lost the faith. We knew she was going to be back. It was just temporary. She set the bar so high, it was impossible to replicate last year. She was amazing. 400 rally. As Svitolina backhand to the back of Swiatek. Svitolina backhand. Nope. Swiatek gets it out. Chat, what she did last year was impossible to replicate. She wins Madrid. She wins Rome. She wins Roland Garros. How the hell are you going to win 2 Masters and a Grand Slam? I mean, that was Rafa-esque, what she did last year. That was a Rafa-like performance. She swept the clay last year, except for the Olympics, but that's not the same. That was a one-off. There was no way she was going to be able to do that again. It was a ridiculous achievement. It's still ridiculous now that could win 4 in a row here. But we never lost it. We knew, chat. She's still the queen of clay. Advantage Swiatek. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Oh, Svitolina just hit the ball in the crowd. That was stupid. Second serve. Serve into the forehand. Swiatek, good return. Into the forehand of Svitolina. Swiatek, forehand cross. Svitolina, forehand again to the forehand of Swiatek. Into the forehand of Svitolina. Swiatek, forehand. Again to the forehand of Svitolina, who hits it in the net. 5-1. Chat, what I say earlier in the day, about sets that are 6-1 that are very long. 6-1 doesn't necessarily say that somebody is kicking their ass. On the scoreboard, yes, but not in the games. 40 minutes for 5-1 is a long 5-1. And we'll look at the stats after this, but there's been a lot of chances for Svitolina and a lot of close games that she's just not winning. But it hasn't been a beatdown like Swiatek's usual 5-1s. A 5-1 for Swiatek is usually like 15 minutes. So 40 minutes, that tells the tale how close this has been. It's just that Svitolina hasn't been winning the points that she needs to, you know? All right, 5-1. Swiatek serving for the breadstick. Why does Swiatek have so many haters? I think there's a few reasons. Which I don't understand, but I get it, but I don't understand why. When she only means well. Love 15, she double faults. I think one reason is, look, when players get really good, they start to attract haters because people get annoyed that they're so good. So I think that's one. She's a victim of her own success, right? The more you win, the more people want to see you lose, right? That just seems to be that this happens. If you dominate the competition, everyone's going to be like, can somebody else? I'm sick of you, you know. So I think that's one reason. She just gets a lot of haters because she's so successful. Well, she's been so successful. But another reason I think, I'm not going to get political, but I think sort of the people got like a little bit maybe frustrated that she was bringing up, Ukraine, Russia, and wearing the Ukraine flag. I think people didn't like, some people, a small group of people didn't like that because, they just didn't like it. As we're to find out from Svitolina, that goes out in 30-15. So I think some people didn't like that she she was only supporting Ukraine because Poland and geographically, Poland and Ukraine are neighbors, and they've got a close connection, and she was supporting. So I think people maybe were like, "Oh, don't bring in this stuff to tennis. We don't want to hear it." Same with the same people that talk about like, why is there no flags? Those same people probably don't like Swiatek because of that reason. Maybe not all, but some. 40-15. But they're the two reasons that I could see that people wouldn't like her. But she is. There's nothing not to like. It's not like she's a bad person. As that goes out by Svitolina, 6-1. She also kicks everyone's ass. So you're a fan of another player. She's probably bageled them, and that probably hurts. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a fan of literally anybody in the competition, Swiatek's probably beaten the crap out of your player at least once, unless you're a Penko fan, and then you can, you're the only fan group in the world that can say Swiatek hasn't beaten us. But everybody else has at least eaten a bagel, and they're probably thinking, this bloody Swiatek, she keeps on winning. You know what I mean? So maybe it's that as well. But hey. I think they hate the game, not the player. She's just too good. First set, by the way, 6-1, wasn't easy. If you're coming in now and going, oh, that wasn't easy. We'll talk about the stats in a second. My sister doesn't like Swiatek because she's a fan of Pliskova. Ooh. Okay, I understand. I understand. First set, by the way, 4 winners Svitolina, 17 errors. And 10 winners, 13 errors Swiatek. 3 break points for Svitolina, didn't break once. Swiatek had 6 and broke twice. Svitolina's errors are bad. So, Chad, like I said yesterday, right? In that situation, Swiatek's playing okay. She's not playing amazing. Svitolina is playing terrible. She can be the one to... If she can limit the errors, she could get back into this. Just like yesterday with Raducanu and Swiatek. I mean, the first set was 6-1. Swiatek came back to win. Different because yesterday Raducanu was playing like Jannik Sinner, apparently. But Svitolina is just hitting so many errors. She just needs to limit those errors. And it could be kind of like Rublev Sinner. Remember Rublev Sinner yesterday? Rublev was playing terrible in that first set, and Sinner was playing godlike. But Rublev made it closer by limiting his errors, and then Sinner got worse. So it helped him. So Svitolina just needs try and limit the errors for a start, and then maybe that will help her get back. Maybe. It's not a guarantee, but maybe. Just maybe. 45 minutes for a 6-1 is a long 6-1. All right. Back to Svitolina. She's serving first in the second. Serving the forehand. Swiatek return the nets. 15 love. It's hard to limit errors when you're getting outplayed. Yeah, but there's a difference between an unforced error and a forced error. Now, Swiatek's... I wonder if I can find the breakdown of forced errors and unforced, because errors are not all... the error count on the screen is unforced, which means you're making a mistake. You're not being outplayed to make a mistake. You're just making a mistake, right? And then there's forced errors where your opponent is making you make a mistake, and that is not your fault. Unforced is your fault. Forced is their fault, right? 30-15. So if I have a look here. So the unforced error count is 17 for Svitolina. Forced errors 9. So still 17 unforced errors. So 17 errors that Svitolina missed an easy shot, right? A routine shot. 17 routine shots missed, right? That's what an unforced error is, a routine miss. Whereas a forced error is when Swiatek hits a hard shot and you can't handle it. Or Swiatek hits a great shot and you're running for a defensive shot you miss. That's forced, right? So she's hit 17 unforced errors, which is not being outplayed. It's making errors. It's making mistakes. Only the 9 forced errors, which, again, indicates... You know what? Is that making sense, chat? Does that make sense? The difference between a forced and an unforced error? Everything on the screen, every time I say errors, it's always unforced. I never talk about forced errors. We don't really talk about forced errors that much because the errors on the screen say unforced. 40-30. First serve is a fault, second serve. There's a backhand inside out from Swiatek. That's a winner. All right, deuce. The scary part for Svitolina, though, now is that Swiatek got the first set 6-1. Very, she had to fight for that set. And now she can just play freely, Swiatek, because she has the set. So she might just start going off. Because Swiatek didn't play great in that first set. More errors than winners. So Swiatek can also get better, which is scary for Svitolina. As a return goes into the forehand of Svitolina. Forehand out from Swiatek. Again, the forehand of Svitolina. As Swiatek forehand goes wide, and we get to advantage Svitolina. Yeah, when I say on the screen, I mean on the TV, not here. I don't know why it's not coming up here. I meant on the TV screen that you're all watching. Because you're watching this on the TV. And just chilling out here. Anyways, Svitolina holds, 1-love. What's the difference between unforced and forced? Yep, Jack, I just said that. Unforced error is when you make an error off a shot that you... let's say you just got an easy middle of the road forehand and you hit in the net. That's unforced. A forced error is when your opponent either makes you run for a forehand and you hit it and miss it, or they hit it with too much power. They do a big serve and you hit a slice in the net, or you hit a backhand in the net or something off a serve. That's a forced error because you were forced to hit the error. Forced error, forced by your opponent to make an error. They made you do it. Unforced error, you made an error with no... the opponent gave you an easy shot and you missed it. So unforced error is with no... Your opponent didn't make you make that error. You made that error on yourself. That was a mistake. You're bad, right? It was your fault. Forced error, they made you do it. Forced errors aren't really errors. Well, that's how they determine them. Because what else would you call them, Mike? What are they called then? Forced... What do you call them then? It's the easy way to say forced error. It sounds weird to say forced error because you're like... It should give you... Your opponent should get credit for that, right? But it's not a winner. So you can't say it's a winner for the opponent. What else do you call it? Yeah, may the force be with you. Exactly. Anyways, sounds like it's a winner. 15-love. As we're back in return now, Svitolina, back in Swiatek, who hits a cross-court winner. Good angle, and it's 30-love. Forced errors are over your opponent's great play. Yeah, so if the forced error count is high and your unforced error count is low, it means, that your opponent's playing well. But in this case, the unforced error count is massive for Svitolina, and the forced error count's not that high. So that tells me Svitolina's hitting a lot of errors. Swiatek's making her hit a couple of errors, but not really. Less than 10. Whereas Svitolina's making a lot of mistakes on her own shots. Like missing the easy ones. As that goes out by Swiatek, and it's 30-15. Anyways, let's see if Svitolina can regroup here in the second. Serve is a let by Swiatek. And she serves a fault. Second serve. There's a bit of double fault Swiatek. Okay. So unforced error, double faults are unforced errors, right? Because nobody made you do that double fault. You hit the shot, you missed it. That's your fault. So the double fault is the ultimate unforced error. It could be, in fact, double faults might be the worst error in tennis, because unless the wind is blowing and maybe there's like some conditional factors, you have ultimate control of your serve. So you missing your serve is 100% your fault. Nothing except for maybe a little bit of pressure from your opponent on a second serve. Sabalenka stepping in on a second serve, something like that. Maybe you're worried about that. But it might be the ultimate error. Svitolina in the net, 40-30. It might be the biggest. I mean, it's the one that gets talked about the most, right? We talk about double faults as like the worst. Like if you've got a lot of double faults, that's terrible. You could have like 20 forehand errors, and we might mention it, but we when we see double faults, we're like, oh my god, that is the worst thing you could do. 40-30. There's another fault from Swiatek. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand Svitolina. Forehand from Swiatek. Into the forehand Svitolina in the net. 1-1 in the second. 1-1. 1-1. What makes Swiatek so good on clay? Her topspin. On the ground strokes. Also her defense. Her movement. Definitely her movement on clay. Moving on clay is not easy. Cam's purple shirt, Rocky's shirt is an unforced error. All right, dude. 15 love. Back into forehand rally. Zucker's in the net from Swiatek, and it's 30 love. Yeah, I'm really going to take criticism from someone without even a profile picture. Yeah. I'm going to take fashion advice from an anonymous chatter. Mike, show me what's your outfit look like today, huh? You rocking a 3-piece suit, a tux? You might be if you do that work. I don't know. What are you wearing a suit and tie? Are you? 40 love. Or are you just a salty Marlins fan? we kicked your ass. Take the L. 40 love. 40 love. As that goes out by Swiatek. Good hold. Svitolina. 2-1. 2-1. All right. I'm in a muscle shirt in Florida. Ah, you're from Florida, are you? Ah, so you are salty. You are a Marlins fan. Anyways, 2-1. This shirt is fire. I don't think anyone in Australia have this shirt. This is a 1 of 1 in Australia. I couldn't even get it here. I had to get it from America. This is an original. Well, There's probably a lot of people that wear this shirt, but not here. Not here. I reckon I'm the number one Rockies fan in Australia. Unless there's someone from Colorado moved here, I'm the number one Rockies fan in Australia. I'm walking around. Nobody knows what the hell I'm wearing. They don't even know what team this is. Is it a made-up team? Did I make this up? Then maybe I did. I will go to Colorado one day to support my team. When we get to the Super Bowl of baseball, whatever the hell that is, the World Series. When we get to the World Series, I will go to Colorado to watch us win the World Series. We will beat the Yankees or someone. Is there any Rockies fan club in Australia? There could be. Maybe I'll make one. Maybe I'll start one. Australian Rockies fans, let's go. You're the only Rockies fan? Well, they should give me season tickets. I should be the number one ticket holder at the Rockies. They should let me come to America to watch them and support them. Slice goes in the net by Swiatek, love 15. Love 15. I'm a Rays fan, but things have been odd the past years. Okay. My best friend worked for the Rockies for the last 2 years. Great stadium and atmosphere. The team is difficult, but at least there's a great stadium and atmosphere. I'll take that. The team will get better. The team will rise. We will get better. I love 15. Swiatek double faults. Love 30. A couple of double faults in the last few games here. Love 30. 1 hour played. Love 30. Side project, you have enough to-dos? I do have a lot of projects. Can you start a Rockies channel? Mile High Talk. Okay, come on now. Love 30. Rockies are the worst team in the MLB at the moment, but I won't tell anyone. At the moment, see? You said at the moment. You're right, at the moment. But that's okay. Swiatek puts it away, 15-30. We won yesterday. We're on a streak. We're on a streak. We've won a match. We're on a streak. We're on a streak. Are we playing today? 6-4, by the way, one of our best wins yet. We were down 4-0. Sorry, we're down 4-1 and we came back to win 6-4. I see that as an absolute win. And apparently it was away. Wait, was it away? Was it in Florida? It was. It was in Florida. So an away game, we're down 4-1 and we came back to win. 1 is not a streak. Hey. It's a 1-game streak and we're taking it. We're taking it. Until we win 2 in a row, and then I'll dance around and talk about that tomorrow because we're going to play the Marlins again tomorrow. And we're going to make it 2 for 2. We're on a winning streak. We haven't lost yet. I didn't mean to start the whole Rockies chat. I'm so sorry. Mike? No need to apologize. Everybody's enjoying the conversation. 30-all. As the backhand goes in from Swiatek, the backhand of Svitolina. Slice goes short, and Swiatek, in the nets! Bad miss by Swiatek. Break point, Svitolina, 30-40. 30-40. Break point, Svitolina. Oh, you okay? Second serve. Oh. All right, second serve, 30-40. Second serve, Swiatek. Serving the backhand to Svitolina, returning the backhand to Swiatek. Svitolina forehand. To the forehand to Swiatek. Into the backhand to Svitolina. Swiatek backhand. In the net. There's the break. 3-1. 3-1. Svitolina breaks in the second. 3-1. Svitolina in the second. That error was bad. Yeah, she could. I think you could tell there that she kind of hesitated. She was going to let it drop and bounce, but then she ended up hitting a drive volley, and I think it was too low by the time she made that decision. So chat, drive volley, right? Drive volley is when you hit it like a forehand in the air, right? When you're hitting a forehand before, like a volley, but it's a drive forehand volley rather than just a regulation. But this is what I meant by the ball dropped too low. So Swiatek's here, right? Right? Swiatek's here. The ball was coming in. She should have let it bounce and then just hit a forehand. But instead, what she did was it was coming in and then she hit it. And by that time, it was too low. If you're going to hit a drive volley, you want to hit it, if you're that close to the net, you want to hit it when it's above the net height. So then you don't have to hit it under and over, right? Like up and over, right? You can just hit it kind of flat. Like you'll see a lot of players hit them like above their shoulder and, down, right? Because you want to hit you want to hit it up high and then hit it down. Much easier, right? Rather than trying to hit it like up and loop it over like a regulation forehand. But she was kind of like in two minds. When she came to the net, because the ball was coming over and then she should have hit it here, but instead she made the decision to hit it when it was here and then she went in the net. And that was a bad error. Whereas she could have let it bounce and then it would have been and maybe an easy forehand winner anyway, right? Does that make sense? It's hard to show you what a drive volley looks like without showing you what a drive volley looks like. 30-all. Swiatek trying to break straight back. As of return, goes the backhand to Svitolina. Forehand Swiatek into the forehand Svitolina. And Swiatek down the line. That's a great shot. Svitolina slices it back, but it's in the net. 30-40, breakback point. I might need a bigger whiteboard. I think I might need a bigger whiteboard, chat. Anyways, 30-40. Love the clipboard. I need a hat that says coach, so then we can do coach talk. Backhand into the forehand to Swiatek. To the backhand of Svitolina. Swiatek backhand down the line. As Svitolina gets with a forehand cross. Swiatek down the line again. Svitolina backhand crosses. Swiatek backhand into the forehand to Svitolina. Again to the forehand to Swiatek. Svitolina forehand of the stretch goes wide, and there's the break back. 3-2. We're back on serve. Like, I feel like this is a little bit too small. I need like one twice as big. Maybe I need to make one. We got little ones here too. All right. Rockies are the worst team in the MLB. Why don't you shut up? All right? Shut the hell up. Ron, who's your team? Are you a Marlins fan? Are you just having a cry? You can get stuffed. We beat you. You are 4-1. You choked. You choked. Terrible Marlins fan. It was a terrible Marlins effort. That was at home as well. How'd you lose a 4-1 lead? It was a shocking loss. What a terrible loss. I would be angry too. But I'm not because we beat you. So, ha. Oh, you're a Dodgers fan? Oh, I just go for the popular teams. I just pick the winning teams. Do you now? Oh, okay. I'm sure you and everybody else, right, is a Dodgers fan. I think I'm the only Rockies fan this side of the world. By the way, the one Marlins fan in the chat's been like, why does he hate Marlins so much? Why does he keep crapping on the Marlins? All right. 3-2. I'm just salty because we lost to the Dodgers, I think. Did we lose 3 games in a row to them? Stupid Dodgers. Couldn't give us one win. We beat the Yankees, though. Yeah, I think we just lost to the Dodgers. I'm pretty sure we just got our ass kicked by the Dodgers like 3 times in a row. They couldn't even give us a win. Just one win. Just one. It's been nice. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Svitolina hits the winner, love 15. There's a bit of fault, second serve. Nope, it wasn't a fault. It went out on Svitolina, 15-all. Key's going to beat Gauff, you reckon? Okay. As the return goes to the backhand of Swiatek. Backhand now from Svitolina. Into the backhand of Swiatek. Is Svitolina backhand. To the forehand of Swiatek. It's a winner. 30-15. I lived in Melbourne near you. I would have hit with you very often. Recreational tennis is fun. Yeah, fair enough. I don't get out much, so... All right. Serving the forehand of Svitolina. Svitolina hits out. And it's 40-15. As a return goes wide and Swiatek holds 3-all. 3-all. Okay. Svitolina to serve. She did have the break. She gave it back. And now we're here. As we have a forehand rally. Svitolina again to the forehand. Swiatek. Forehand now from Svitolina is long. And it's 15 love. Love 15. Love 15. As with a forehand into the backhand of Swiatek. Backhand out from Svitolina to the backhand of Swiatek. Svitolina gets the point. Swiatek in the net. And it's 15 all. As we default, second serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Svitolina, backhand of Swiatek into the forehand of Svitolina. And Swiatek again at the forehand of Svitolina into the forehand of backhand of Swiatek sliced. Svitolina goes short, but Swiatek gets there and puts it away. Okay. 15-30. Also, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. We're almost at 500 likes. Appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't already. We've got Paul versus... No, we don't. We've got Musetti taking on Tiafoe next. That is next. As we have forehand Svitolina. That's a beautiful shot. 30-all. All right, 30-all. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. The return goes into the forehand of Svitolina. And Swiatek goes to slice to Svitolina. Backhand now down the line. Svitolina winner. And it's 40-30. Good fight back from Svitolina. 40-30. As we let from Svitolina. Serve again. Into the forehand Swiatek. Forehand Svitolina. Into the forehand Swiatek. Swiatek gets it out. 4-3. Good hold. Next match starts after this. All right. Svitolina stays in front in the second. Okay. All right, the crowd are dancing around. Bublik taking this slam, okay. Fortnite Season 3 is dropping. Novak doesn't play today, and that wouldn't be an upset. It's 50-50, but today feels it to be predictable. Yeah, is Novak still the favorite? Because I think he was yesterday. I'm not sure if that's changed. Is he still the favorite? He is still the slight favorite. I hope Djokovic beats Zverev because he's only one who can beat Sinner. Okay? right, Swiatek, man, dust is flying everywhere. The clay is blinding everybody. It's very windy. As the return goes into the forehand of Swiatek, Svitolina slice in the net. 15-love. Love. Serve again. Swiatek hits a backhand into the back of Svitolina. Swiatek forehand into the forehand of Svitolina to the back of Swiatek. Svitolina can't get that one. 30-love. Bublik Sinner's a 50-50. Serve into the forehand. Swiatek forehand. Svitolina. Swiatek forehand down the line is a winner, and it's 40-love. Love. As a default, second serve. Second serve. As the return goes into the back end of Swiatek. Forehand now from Svitolina. Ooh, as a winner. Great shot. 40-15. If you're Nole, which Grand Slam would you prefer to win for 25? Wimbledon. 40-15. Swiatek to level the second. First serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Svitolina. Forehand Swiatek. As Svitolina goes down the line for another winner. All right. $40-30. $40-30. As the return goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Svitolina slice on the stretch. And Swiatek with a forehand inside out. The backhand Svitolina in the net this time. And Swiatek takes the game. 4-all. 4-4 in the third. All right. As we default, second serve. As we default, forehand rally slice. Swiatek goes into the forehand of Svitolina. And Swiatek slice again to the forehand of Svitolina. Swiatek backhand on the stretch. Svitolina volley is too good. Great drop volley. 15-love. The only way Bublik beats Sinner is if Sinner's injured. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's 15 love. As with a serve from Svitolina to the backhand Swiatek. Backhand Svitolina to the forehand Swiatek. Into the forehand Svitolina. Swiatek backhand into the forehand Svitolina. Getting the backhand Swiatek. Svitolina forehand down the line again. Up goes a lob by Swiatek. Smash. Svitolina is a winner. And it's 30 love. $30 love. Swiatek with the backhand. Into the forehand now. Swiatek goes in the net. And it's at 40 love for Svitolina. To take a 5-4 lead in the second. And that goes in the net on the return. And it's 5-4 Svitolina in the second. Okay. How are we doing, chap? Tiafoe is not losing. Okay. Monfils must be chewing his nails. Yeah, he must be a little bit nervous. Okay. Swiatek serving to stay in the second. As we go backhand now to the slice of Swiatek. Forehand now from Svitolina. It's long. 15 love. 15 love. 15 love. Sort of fault from Swiatek, second serve. As a return goes out by Svitolina. 30 love. Love. There's another fault, second serve. As that goes in the net by Swiatek eventually, and it's 30-15. As with a fault, second serve. Second serve. As return goes back to Swiatek. Forehand from Svitolina in the net. Bad miss. 40-15. 40-15. $40-15. She double faults Swiatek, and it's 40-30. $40-30. Svitolina hits a lovely winner, and we get the deuce. All right, we get the deuce. We get the deuce. There's a fault from Swiatek, second serve. As a return goes in the net by Svitolina. Advantage Swiatek. Advantage Swiatek. As that goes out by Svitolina. Good hold by Swiatek. 5-all in the second. All right, 5-5. All right. Svitolina hits it in the net, love 15. He's got a 400 rally. Svitolina again at the front of Swiatek, but Swiatek overhits it. 15-all. As we default, second serve. Seven to the backhand of Swiatek. Svitolina forehand to the forehand of Swiatek. As Svitolina hits a forehand long, and it's 15. 15-30. 15-30. As Svitolina goes to the forehand of Swiatek. Svitolina backhand. And the backhand of Swiatek goes out. Okay, 30-all. As a fault down the tee from Svitolina. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Slice from Svitolina goes into the forehand of Swiatek. Svitolina backhand lob. Bounce smash Swiatek. She puts it away. 30-40. Break point Swiatek to take the break and serve the match. 30-40. Serve. There's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes in, and then forehand goes out by Svitolina. Swiatek's going to serve the match. Great return by Iga Swiatek. All right. To take a chance. This has been a long straight sets. Hour and 36 minutes. First set was 6-1, but it was long. I mean, the first set was 6-1, 46 minutes. This has been 6-5 for 50 minutes. So it just shows how close that first set was and how tough that first set was. All right. All right, chat. Let us know where you're watching from. I haven't asked that today. We have 3,000 people in the house. What's going on? Welcome to the French Open. Welcome to Tennis Talk. My name is Cam Williams, and we do tennis all the time. Every day. All the time. Never stop. You like tennis, we like you. You don't like tennis, you're in the wrong place. You must have got lost. If you don't like tennis, we'll make you like tennis. If you want to learn how to... If you want to learn... You don't have to, but we're here if you ask questions. All right, Warsaw, we've got Austin, Texas, we've got someone at work. Cincinnati, Nigeria, Philippines, Finland, Netherlands, USA, we've got Florida in the house. We've got Dallas, we've got New York, we've got the Netherlands, California, Adelaide, Zimbabwe, we've got the UK, we've got Scotland, we've got Ireland, we've got Kentucky, Athens, Maine, London, Canada, France, Sydney, Minnesota. We've got Ghana, Poland, Perth, Chicago, Turkey, South Africa, Spain, India, Taiwan, Maryland, Romania, Ohio, Georgia, Kansas, Papua New Guinea in the house, Johannesburg, Cambodia, Vietnam. As with a forehand inside out to the backhand of Svitolina. Backhand of Swiatek goes into the slice of Svitolina. Svitolina in the net. 15 love. We've got the Philippines in the house. Shout out to the Philippines. We are watching Eala. She's coming up in the next 30 minutes. So we're going to be watching Eala. So we got you covered for that as well. We've got Ukraine. We've got Brunei, Manila, New York, Canada, Lebanon. We've got more people from Manila. Poland again. North Carolina in the house. Bangladesh. Mexico. 15 love. And we'll serve again. 15 love. Ace out wide. 30 love. $30 love. First ace of the day. 30 love. Serve. It's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. To the back end of Svitolina. Forehand Swiatek, the back end of Svitolina. Swiatek backhand to the forehand of Svitolina. Sliced into the forehand of Swiatek. Svitolina. Forehand to the backhand now of Swiatek. Into the backhand of Svitolina. Swiatek forehand on the stretch. Svitolina. Down the line. Swiatek gets with the backhand, but it's long. 30-15. 30-15. $30-15. All right, serve again. Two points away. And she serves another ace. Two aces in the game. And it's match points to take on Sabalenka in the semi-finals. They'll never play a final of a slam, will they? They've been this close twice. And then the time that they do play, it's in a semi. 40-15. Swiatek to play Sabalenka in a couple of days. Serve. Ace out wide. 3 aces in the game. Chat, that is how you serve for a match. No aces for the entire match. 3 in the game to win it. Holy crap. Swiatek with a smile. She's like, yep, let's do that again. Let's do that against Sabalenka. All right, Swiatek gets the win. That was, 3 aces in one game is impressive enough. Serving for the match to make it semis is more impressive. And then you haven't served an ace all day. Saved it for the end. Geez, that is very, very, very impressive. Swiatek just a serve bot in that game. She's been watching Hubie. Chat. Not a bad effort by Svitolina. Made the quarters. Had a really good win against Paolini. But Swiatek is the queen of clay. And Svitolina's got a smile. She'll be back next year. She can also play on grass. So she'll be back next week or in 2 weeks' time. All right, chat. Next is men's quarterfinal action. We've got Tiafoe taking on Musetti. One of the stranger matchups. I don't think we expected this matchup. We expected Musetti, but Tiafoe's been surprisingly good this week. So I'll send you over there, and we will continue the coverage and keep things rolling on this Roland Garros quarterfinals day. We also got Eala coming up as well, so we're going to be doing a doubleheader with that. See how Eala looks on the grass after a average, disappointing clay court season for her. So we'll chuck her on as well. But jump on over. Tiafoe Musetti coming up next. But what a win by Swiatek. She gets the win. 6-1-7-5. She takes out Svitolina. She's into the semi-finals again. She'll take on Sabalenka. A couple of days' time. We'll see you then if you're not coming back. But next, Tiafoe versus Musetti.